Hi everyone, this is Alicia Cummings on my joyous journey. Um, I hope everybody's doing well. I just wanted to get on here because I haven't made a video in some days now, some evenings. The last time I made a video, I was like 1 o'clock in the morning and I was very tired. I didn't realize how tired I was. I just hurry up and just push that, sent my video out. And there has been a lot of things going on here, but um it's all to like be a big distraction for me and what God wants me to do. And I have made a vow to the Lord and a promise to the Lord that I will complete the mission that I am supposed to do. Every task that I need to do, I'm on it. I have, one person that I thought would never stab me so deep in the back that, it hurts internally to it's spiritually. And, is an ex of mine that, doesn't, is not very responsible, and a lot of things have happened, transpired with him lying on me. Him and some other people are lying on me and making smear campaigns about me, talking about me. I see some of my videos have either not even been taken down, but some of the views that were viewed is a different number now, different numbers. But I'm keeping my faith in God and knowing that He is the one that has me to do what I need to do, as far as, what He wants me to do, what His plan is for me and my purpose in life, what His purpose is. And I could say that, and I am reading a little bit because I had to write some things down, but um I'm not even gonna like go into the theatrics of what exactly happened between me and that ex, because it's kind of null and void right now. But it's a part of my testimony, which is what I'm giving, and that's what I'm giving just about every time that I pop on here. But I'm also here to help others, Um, but with my testimony, and the things that have happened to me in my life that I'm sure that many can relate to. Now, I was in here, I'm begging God, begging Jesus to forgive me for cussing and cussing at my youngest daughter, who is on the autism spectrum with ADHD and a host of other developmental issues. On top of that, she's a teenager, and it shows. Um, I've been caring for her by myself for 15 years. In the beginning, I had some things that happened, with the police and everything, but all because I was mentally unstable, being pregnant, not being able to take my medication, no serious support from, that particular person that could have been there for me and my unborn baby, but instead he wanted to swallow pride and he couldn't swallow his pride. He had too much pride. And now I just lost my train of thought, but what I'm saying here is that I didn't get the help that I needed. So and that's not to blame that person. I'm taking a complete accountability for my actions. Not to talk about that right now because that would be going into something else. But yeah, so I ask the Lord for forgiveness and deliverance from the words that come out of my mouth that are not of God. I know that I'm a work in progress, and I know that I'm human and that I am not perfect. And just like nobody else is perfect, only God, only God is perfect, And I'm asking God to now change my vocabulary and to replace the profane language with much more respectful verbiage. You know, life and death are in the power of the tongue, it says in the word, you know. And even though somebody may make me upset or make me angry, and I've been going through that, not only that, I'm just now starting to get a little bit more sleep. But for over a year and a half, I've been completely tormented every day, every night, you know, them using my daughter to basically, spiritually attack me and wake me up out of my sleep every single night. But there's a key to that because I don't mind getting up at certain middles of certain times of the night because I'm supposed to be praying. But when I'm distracted and I haven't had that much sleep, just like I was up at 1 o'clock that night on that video, I went to sleep. I crashed as soon as I got done with the video, but you heard the way my voice was slurring. You heard my words were slurring and how I sounded in my eyes. I could barely keep my eyes open. That's because I was sleepy. So I said, I'm thinking that, with the words that come out of my mouth, I have to be careful what I say. Being a person that I am, but like I said, I'm not perfect. And I have been through so much, and I really don't do anything. I don't do anything else. That is a problem for me because I don't like it how it's coming out of me. But that's not the words that I feel inside of my heart. And when I get so angry because I'm so tired, I mean, a year and a half every night, that it's only been God keeping me. You know what I'm saying? And honestly, like, how can I lead by example to children, teens, and adults if I can't control the words that come out of my mouth? You know what I'm saying? And and it's all God. It has to be God. If I am not using those type of words, especially when I get angry, it's mostly, or I can't express myself any other way. I can, and I know that I can. And so, like I said, the words are not embedded in my heart. It's not how I actually feel some of the things I do feel. I feel it, because I'm being like, constantly attacked, But I said also my reputation had been ruined, because of my carelessness and disobedient behavior. Although unknowingly was video recording me, the person was video recording me and I didn't know it. And I have had audio recordings of me and my voice and the words that come out of my mouth that other people have heard and they judge me about it. Like, I'm a parent, I'm a single parent. I haven't had no sleep, so how can I even function well enough to control the words that come out of my mouth? You understand? So I'm, and I'm not causing no judgment. There are little children. There are 4 and 5 years old, got potty mouths, and they even some of them maybe come to me, and I say, "Oh, I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry." And one say, Miss Alicia," you know what I'm saying? I do not own the rights to this music either. I'm sorry. Let me turn it off. Okay, let me turn. I forgot it was still on. Yeah, so, I'm sorry about that. I got distracted. My daughter, she doesn't want to be still for some unknown reason. So, what I'm saying, like, there are other recordings of me cussing, and there are videos that have floated around with me performing sexual acts on an ex lover of mine. That I knew it was not okay to do that because I'm not married, and it was just used, was put on display for others to not know or understand, why I was being portrayed in this light, the type of light that is considered dark and unholy because we were not married. We say we're married, but to me it's different, then I have an actual ring, I have actual papers that we sign that we are married, and I just knew better in some certain circumstances. Although I had been abstinent before dealing with him for a long period of time, um, it still makes no sense for me to. I should have just stayed away and just try to deal with him from afar because I was really afraid. I was so scared, and the Lord asked me, he said, Alicia, you can, you know, I'm gonna give you a pass, because this person is supposed to be my husband, right? you know. And I'm thinking like I've been away from him for all this time, and I didn't realize how angry he actually was to, display that type of. I'm gonna sit there and say things that I want to say, but all I'm saying is to you or anyone that's listening that don't let your fleshly desires trump, you know, losing your salvation and things like that. I didn't lose my salvation or anything like that because I immediately, after so long, I was in a narcissistic fog. Like, the person was a narcissistic person, and I was suffering from narcissistic abuse. He never put his hands on me or anything, but it was pretty bad. All the manipulation and the gaslighting and all the things that come with that. And I still haven't really read very much up on narcissism, so I really don't know a lot about it. But just what I listen to or something, what I watch and I learn from that, and just put certain people in a certain category as being a narcissistic or a Jezebel, having a Jezebel spirit. And, those things are in the past for me. I'm still, friends with the guy or whatever, but things have happened so much that there's so many things have happened that, like, how could someone let someone talk to them and tell them things about me to make for them to believe everything that this person is saying because they seem to be believable? They never asked me about it, so they really didn't care whether they liked me or not. You know what I'm saying? So goodbye. Go ahead, and one thing I can't say is that one person did say something to me. It was a driver, a taxi driver, saying that she would rather be with someone and struggle and like be poor than to go be rich and be by yourself. And I'm like, what is she talking about? Because things are really like kind of go over my head because I'm like, I'm not out there in the mix. I'm not in the streets. I'm not like, you know what I'm saying? I don't do anything. I don't drink. I don't smoke. I don't, I'm abstinent. I've been abstinent for almost 2 years, and I just haven't been like in a worldly type thing, and just dealing with, sorry about that. I'm sorry. Yeah, so y'all, I've been lied on. I've been talked about, just stuff that I don't even clearly did not have an understanding or, know what was going on. Because I'm in my home. I'm in my home and I'm here with my daughter, taking care of her, and someone's always trying to infiltrate what's going on in my household. Okay, by the wicked ways that they do things that I pretty much just like, if the person is going to believe something like that and they don't even know anything about me, they don't know me. All they know is what they've been told. And he's up there yelling, the ex of mine, out there yelling, talking about I was with all these guys and this, and that. And just saying all these things, negative things about me, trying to lure children to call me out of my name in a very vile and foul language and foul names that they're calling me, and I haven't even done anything. He doesn't even have his facts straight. He just listened on somebody and got his own interpretation of what it was, and that's why he attacked me the first time he did. And I didn't realize that was the reason why he was attacking me, is because he's believing lies from someone he completely trusts. He gave his all to, he laid it down on the line. But how did he know that that person wasn't mad or jealous about anything? You know? But it would prove me right. Now, I take accountability because I did not know him that well. I didn't know him at all, really. I didn't know him at all. We ended up being together. He hurt himself. His leg, I took care of his leg. I made sure he was all right, and everything. But it just goes to show you that some people are just very selfish and ignorant at times. And they just can't think for themselves. And they have no type of emotional, uh, just don't have type of any emotional knowledge, or just know how to handle their feelings and verbal, instead of being attacking in a violent way, you know. And that's how I feel about it, But as far as that though, I said, people are hating on me, or hating me and disliking me now that, my ex and his minions, I call it, his minions wrote a smear campaign. They smear campaign against me that would, want to destroy me and destroy, what God is doing for me, or trying to infiltrate and just trying to tear me down, you know. And that's just the sound of an abusive person or abusive people that want to tear someone down when they didn't even do anything to you. And now you're using children to do it? Wow, that's a shameful thing. I would hope that they would reconsider what they are doing and, take that stuff back, because God doesn't like that. So I say, yeah, God is so good, and I will always praise his holy name, and you know, I will praise him and give him all the glory. And I say in Psalm 34 and 1, it states, I will bless the Lord at all times. His praise shall continually be in my mouth. And I love you, Lord. I love y'all. And I'm gonna work on being more consistent with my videos and everything. But right now it's like maybe about almost 6 o'clock, Eastern time. She has a little problem right now, having a little outburst at times. But I ask you, if you like the video, press like, and share and subscribe to my channel. I'm here to help, it's so many, excuse me, it's so many things that have happened in my life that, so so much, that I can only put tidbits in. And I give thanks to the Lord, for he is good and his mercy endure forever. And I rebuke the devil in the name of Jesus. So y'all have a blessed day. Somebody has to try to infiltrate and say something they want to be heard on my platform. They need to get their own platform and work on themselves. That's way that God will help them and possibly bless them. Because what God has for me is for me. And what God has for you is for you. Have a good night. God bless. Later.